Hello, everybody. We're back. How are you? I'm Jer Stays, coming to you from our studio at Tech Town. And across the table from me is none other than the Prince of Brightmoor himself, Norris Howard. How are you?
What's going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Another Tuesday, another live stream, another one. We doing well.
Who was that? DJ Khaled and another one.
Yeah, that was DJ Khaled.
We have new things.
We got new stuff.
We got new stuff. But thanks to producer Adam.
Yes.
These are sweet.
Producer, super producer Adam.
Super producer Adam.
Super producer Adam. So check it out.
We have Daily Detroit bookmarks now. This is so exciting.
You got to do the influencer thing. So
oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm not. Okay, you got that side. I got this side.
We got it. We got Fezzy on the back.
Fezzy on the back with the books.
Yeah.
And then the Daily Detroit iconography, celebrating the wonderful things about Detroit. Limited edition bookmarks. They will be available for you if you come to Trivia.
That's right.
On 313 Day.
That's the only way to get them.
Tokororo.
We'll be there.
Yes. I mean, we're going to also do these other ways. But for now.
For now, that's the only way to get them. Exclusive.
Exclusive.
It's exclusive. Dude. I have that drop on there. So there's an air horn drop. I put it on there.
Hold on. Let's see here.
There should be. Oh no, we don't have it connected to go through on the machine.
I don't have it in the right order.
Yeah.
At some point I will.
But it is the airdrop is there. But more fire.
So this is very exciting. These are very cool. I love how they came out so much. These are the best bookmarks of any media outlet in America.
Oh, period.
Because like, I love the retro book look here.
Yeah.
Like they're falling from the, I think
That's
about Reading
sad
Rainbow.
that you say a retro book look because it has pages.
Well, I was thinking about Reading Rainbow.
Oh, we love Reading Rainbow now.
And then you got Fezzy here. So if you're listening to the show while reading or listening to music while reading, this is so cool. I'm so excited. And they're like laminated a bit.
Mm-hmm.
They're thick. They're not cheap. These are good. You're going to want to get them. And then we got something else. Limited edition Daily Detroit Pizza stickers.
I can't wait. I can't wait for y'all to get your hands on those.
We only got like 50 of these right now. So if people want them,
That's
you got to
one of
be.
the best stickers ever made.
Yes, absolutely. This is very, very good.
That is the best. That is the best sticker that a Detroit news program has ever made.
Listen, the swag here is leveling up. Soon.
Get ready.
I want the Daily Detroit Shield hat.
Don't give away what we doing. Don't let the people wait. Just give them a little taste, and then
But you know what would be really nice if like 10 people raise their hands because they're not cheap to do.
that's true.
So something like that. Stickers and this we can push out there. But
But let me tell y'all, when y'all see me at trivia, here's what my task is. I want everybody to tell me what kind of merch y'all would like to see coming from Daily Detroit. What would you like to sport walking around town? You know, because it's about conversation pieces, right? You know,
Yes.
it's about a thing that people can grab, and somebody goes, "Oh my God, where'd you get that tote? It's so cute. Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get whatever?"
I will say though, NPR with Nina Totenberg, the Nina Toten bag,
Yeah,
that was really natural. That was really good.
yeah.
I'm going to hand that to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's new. Geez, what else is new? Oh, I guess we're at war
That is happening. Yes.
and the horrors persist.
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
And we're not going to spend a ton of time.
we're
on
not
it.
we're not gonna spend time on it. We're not gonna do that. But the one thing I will say, that's really important, is that we, as Black people, told y'all this was gonna happen. I'm tired of us not being listened to, man. We said this was gonna happen, but you know, it is what it is. And here we are. So, you know, it's frustrating, and people are going to get hurt. People are currently getting hurt. And my heart goes out to a lot of people. And, you know, I'm not going to get into the geopolitics of it all, because it is more complicated than, you know, we did a bad thing, they do a bad thing. It is complex. But one thing I will say is I just know I don't want us to be embroiled in a global scale conflict right now, or ever really. And here we are. So
Well, it's going to have some impacts here because, you know, Metro Detroit is one of the largest homes of the Arab diaspora in the entire world.
Mhm.
And you have a situation where you're going to have people returning back. You know, there's already talk now, you know, France is pulling people out. They're talking about 400,000 people.
Yep.
There's tons of American citizens that are over there, many of which connected to the region. So, yeah, there's going to be impacts here for sure.
yeah, and the gas prices too. Because if they lock up the Strait of Hormuz, or you know they lock up, you know, the Gulf, get ready, because it could get real crazy. I mean, you remember when gas was like $5-6 a gallon during 9/11?
Well, yeah, I don't know what it's going to be because who knows what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with the Strait of Hormuz. Apparently, we're going to be sending ships and also offering our own government insurance to like get ships through there. There's a lot that's happening. Stina says, I have a Ask Me About Wilson Park pin that gets me comments. That might be something. Ask me about Daily Detroit.
Daily Detroit is the best podcast in the world. Changed my mind.
Which, by the way, you need to vote. Our Detroit.
That's right.
We are actually up for not best podcast in the world, but best of Detroit in their voting.
And we are. Period. We are the best podcast in Detroit. I don't care what anybody says.
You don't need an award for that?
Nope.
I would like some hardware.
I would like an award, but I just want to validate you, Jared. You put together a great podcast with a great group of folks.
You're very kind.
All right, and I'm not just saying that just because I'm here. I truly believe that. I was listen. Not only am I a contributor, I am a listener.
It's like the hair club for men. True, D. Gifford says, True has asked me about my bus ride shirts.
Yeah.
I should do that.
Ask me about Daily Detroit.
There you go. It's good to see people in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic.
We start a little bit later now because we've learned that people seem to like us a little bit later. And it's good to have people going back and forth. We got a chock full show for you today. Very, very busy show for you. The rundown is full of interesting things that we're going to get into. But yeah, I just, it's been a thing.
It has been a thing.
It has been a thing. By the way, going up for our members on Patreon very soon is our Off the Record, Off the Rails. You, me, and Big Lucci.
We'll be there.
It'll be there. We do believe we are going to send him down the giant slide.
And we will record it.
And he has volunteered. This was not an idea we came up with, to be clear.
I would just go down the giant slide myself regularly, but seeing somebody do it for the first time is always fun.
Will you go with him the second time?
Maybe.
The first time you got to be holding the like we got to do cameras, right?
Yeah.
We've got to do this from all angles.
Yeah, but the second time he goes down, yeah, I'll join him.
Wouldn't it be funny to just like line us up down the slide? See, that would be a great like 90s sitcom intro for the podcast. Everywhere you look.
Why did I hear the Family
everywhere
Matters
you go,
theme song in my head?
Somebody who needs you. We got Mr. 1213.
Mr. 1213 in the building. What's going on, my guy?
It is so good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about the show. I'm excited about what we got going on. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
What is disappointingly slow now, D.E. Gifford? Oh, the slide?
Oh no, see, but you gotta go at the start of the season. So you gotta go right when it opens up and the wax is fresh. When the wax is fresh, that's when you go. If you go by the time like July hits, yeah, it's slow. You gotta go right when it opens back up.
Opening day, we send.
Yeah, we had to scooch over every bump. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's because they didn't wax it. Well, it's because last time they overwaxed it, and then people
They
were
ended
literally,
up on the late shows.
yeah, people were literally,
Stickers, I survived the Belle Isle slide.
yeah, getting bacchiotomies and stuff.
Bacchiotomies. I don't even know. Just replacing it with like a cyborg. It's just one step closer to RoboCop.
Yeah, you go
Out the
down,
slide.
you go down the giant slide. Now you need a bacchiotomy.
It's amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff changing over at Belle Isle too. Did you notice that the aquarium, now the ramp is a lot taller?
You really love this ramp at the aquarium.
I mentioned it on the Patreon show.
Yeah, but you're really excited about a ramp.
It's because I like cool sculpture. I don't care about the ramp. The ramp's kind of ugly, to be frank.
Okay.
They need to do better with the ramp.
All right.
But what it lets you do is that really cool carving at the top of the entrance of the aquarium. You get to see it up close.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Broken tailbones are no joke, as Stina says. Listen,
This is true. This is true.
Broken any bone is bad. I get it, but
Have you broken any bones?
no, never.
I've broken my clavicle.
Clavicle? How'd you break your clavicle?
I got crushed in street football.
That happens.
My left clavicle is like
It's like
an inch.
lopsided.
It's this and then this and then this. They just like threw a piece of foam on me and called me good.
How'd that like
It
you
still
got
hurts
tackled?
in the
you,
weather.
you got tackled into the concrete, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
landed on it?
Oh, I was at the bottom of a pile.
Oh, that happens. Yeah.
I was at the bottom of a pile. It was a bunch of people
Yeah.
from
yeah.
the east side. Like I was.
Yeah, that's why I
I,
say it's East Side Street.
I was in.
football,
Yeah, it was street football in Detroit.
Yeah. Which meant it wasn't no kind of pads, no kind of nothing. It was just raw, just skin and concrete
Yeah.
with maybe some little grass on
There
the
was some
side.
dirt and grass. Yeah.
But the dirt and grass was out of bounds. Like, ain't that the crazy part? That shows you how psycho like Gen Z and millennials and generations before were. We would play football in the street, and the soft parts were the parts you weren't supposed to go on. You just get tackled into a car. It didn't matter.
That's true.
Whatever.
Over the, we didn't mention this on the show, and maybe we should put it in the rundown. You went to a new soccer facility.
Yes. I went to Sagility out there in Livonia.
Do you get a bacchiotomy after Sagility?
No, because I did my stretchers properly.
Okay.
And I was good to go. But yeah, it's out there in Livonia on what is that? Stark Road, I believe. And yeah, really cool new facility inside of Livonia's sort of rec center facility out there. And it's kind of like a brand new youth soccer training facility. They got some tech there. They got these really cool I don't want to call them VR glasses, but they're glasses that blink on and off at varying speeds, so that when you're looking at the ball, you're not just depending on your eyes, you're also depending on just like sense. So you have that stuff, and we sent some pics over and some video over, and you'll be able to check it out on the in the newsletter if you haven't seen our initial coverage already. But if you got a kid that's into soccer, you can check out Sagility out there in Livonia.
this also is not in the rundown, speaking about soccer, but could we be, and I have only done minor reporting on this, covering it from ESPN's angle and stuff like that. I'm waiting to get a little bit closer before I pull the trigger on talking about it on the main show. But could we be headed for like a USL strike?
It's possible.
Which is the league that Detroit City FC plays in.
That's correct. What we've seen so far is right now there's no new collective bargaining agreement as of us talking on this show right this moment. They are in negotiations, but it's seeming like there could be a strike to start the season. It's mostly on around healthcare. Each player doesn't have healthcare locked up, which to me is
the club does. So
clubs do.
Many of the clubs do.
Yes.
Our club does.
Yes, many, but some don't.
Correct.
And normally that is something that a players union or a players association would negotiate as a league standard. But it is not in the USL. And so for me, that is a sign of a pretty weak players union because that's one of the first things I would negotiate. But they're negotiating it right now. So the start of the season could be delayed. Hopefully it isn't.
Yeah. One of the reasons I haven't talked about in the main show is that I need to do the reporting to see where Detroit City stays in this, because we got to be careful here because this is different than MLS. Each individual team has its own ownership groups. And so one team may be fully on board with something, but that does not mean that it will ratify the contract for everybody else. So I'm trying to make sure I cover it in a way that is fully fair and clear. That
and all information is super correct. And that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a big thing a lot of people don't know about the MLS is the MLS owns every club and all of everybody else are franchisees essentially. So whatever the league says goes when it comes to the MLS. But we'll see what's going on with USL.
I really hope there is that things start on time because there's some neat events coming up this week. I think it's that time we're going to be starting to see more and more looks of Detroit City FC.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool. We got some real cool stuff coming up and we'll be reporting on it later this week.
For sure. All right. Well, we will get into our main show that we will record for people that will air tomorrow. If this is your first time on the live stream, welcome. Good to see you.
Hey.
But know that how we do this is we record the show for tomorrow today. So it's kind of the end of the day on Tuesday. We wrap everything up. We'll post it early tomorrow, and that's the plan. But that means when you listen to the show that we're about to do, you'll hear us talk about it as if it is tomorrow.
That's right.
You will hear March 4th instead of March 3rd. We also, please chat amongst yourselves, ask questions, etc. But we probably won't be able to answer too much chat while we do the live show or when we do the recorded show, because when the recorded show, people are listening to it in their cars. They'll be very confused if we're like talking to chat in the middle of the story.
Yeah.
But we read the chat and we will definitely address your questions and have more discussion afterward. That is not a problem whatsoever. But I've learned I have to set the ground rules every single time because we always have new people and I really appreciate that.
That's right.
All right, we got a rundown.
It is running down.
Do you feel run down?
No. I'm actually, it's just, it's that after 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock crash, which is why I went and got some tea.
You got tea?
Yeah.
I've got the apple juice.
Juice, I can't do juice. Not often. I'm not a juice drinker. I love cranberry juice.
It's quite good.
It's a diuretic.
The extra little bit of sugar really helps, as opposed to adding caffeine, which the caffeine will keep me up.
See, that's the thing is I don't like drinking my sugar. Eating it is fine. I don't like drinking my sugar.
Okay. Well, we will get into it. All right. We are recording. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, friends, and welcome to your Daily Detroit, sharing what to know and where to go in Southeast Michigan. I am J.R. Stace, coming to you from our studio at Techtown. Joining me at the table to share a bunch of wonderful stories and commiserate and talk about everything that's happening is none other than the Prince of Brightmoor himself, Norris Howard. How are you?
Nobody cared who I was until I became the Prince of Brightmoor. But now, I'm that guy.
Now, were you knighted? Were you born into royalty, or did the sword come down upon you from a queen?
No, I was born into it, but when I was a small lad of a few months old, that is when I was anointed as the Prince of Brightmoor when my parents moved over there years and years ago off Schoolcraft Avenue.
And we're going to talk about a little bit of stuff over your part of town
Correct.
later in the show. But first, I want to start with something kind of cool, in that you and I, as Detroiters, know how great this city is.
Best city ever.
But it has become quite the destination to visit. We've talked about that before. But thanks to a listener who pointed this out, the travel magazine Travel and Leisure just dubbed Detroit the, quote, most underrated city everyone should visit once.
You're
unquote,
damn right.
in a new feature written by journalist Iona Brannon. She writes that Detroit is slowly building a reputation as one of the coolest places to visit in the Midwest, with a thriving culinary scene, beautiful outdoor spaces, and a rich history that you can actually see and touch, which all things I would agree with. They highlight a walkable downtown built around the restored Campus Martius, which, by the way, I remember when it was real controversial that we were going to do Campus Martius Park.
So do I.
And it was real controversial that we were going to do like a sandy beach area. And people thought it was crazy, and it turned out to be absolutely awesome.
And then it was real controversial that we were going to put an ice rink in the middle of downtown Detroit, and then they did it, and it's great. Then it was real controversial that they built the little chalet over there, and now they do trivia. Listen, man, stop it, all right? It's cool down there. Shut up.
It was so bad before.
Oh, it was
I'm
terrible.
old enough to remember where you just had that soldier and sailors monument sitting in the middle there, just chilling with buses flying around. It was wild.
Flying around.
It was insane. I used to cross. So when I was a kid, my dad painted offices, and I used to like cross through the middle of that thing. And I remember like being near the statue, like holding on for dear life.
Yeah, it was dangerous, man.
As like Ford Fairmont, whatever tore up car that was like in the 80s from the 70s.
Oh, it was probably a Taurus SHO.
Something.
It was a 91 Taurus SHO.
So on the culture side, they talk about, of course, the Detroit Institute of Arts, the Rivera Industry murals, the Motown legacy, all this musical stuff. They talk about the Siren Hotel, Jazz at Cliff Bell's, which, by the way, I need to get back to Cliff Bell's.
Oh, classic, man. I just went there last year for a Father's Day brunch that they had, and it was phenomenal. If you're looking for, in my opinion, the best Father's Day brunch in Detroit, Cliff Bell's.
Motor City Wine, which we've sung the praises of
yes.
before. And then you've got Baobab Fair, which, by the way, the progress is definitely happening over at their offshoot Waka in Easter Market. Warda Patisserie, which has got two spots, one in Midtown and one in East Village or Little Village.
Little Village.
Which is, they also mentioned Father Forgive Me over there.
Yep.
So there's just so much Marrow, which we've talked about on the show. And then I also want to mention, they talk about a place that we first gave people the heads up on, Roses.
Yeah.
In the old Elmo's Diner.
Yeah, listen, man, it's so much stuff to see and do. And literally, that's kind of just in what I like to call the little golden triangle neighborhoods of, downtown, midtown, Courttown, and a little bit in the villages. But at the end of the day, there's still so much more, even out in the neighborhoods, for you to check out. I mean, listen, if you're a visitor here, I tell people all the time, you can get the gist of a lot of that stuff when you're down here in the touristy areas. But you go up, you hit Avenue of Fashion, you go to Rosedale, see some of those houses if you're big into seeing, architecture and homes and just going around the various parts of the metro. I mean, listen, Detroit is the place to be. And the one thing I will say I'm very happy about this report is talking about the musical history of Detroit, particularly after Motown, which I love. Everybody always talks about Motown.
I still get people talking to me about how you told people to stop giving them the aux.
That's right.
That's the Motown.
Because listen, we have so much music that people have created that has been influential across the globe, particularly in the world of gospel, hip hop, and techno. I mean, listen, the Winans family is from Detroit. Do you know how big of a deal that is in the gospel music world? They were gospel music. They were gospel music. So when we're talking about the rich history of Detroit, We got to talk about the musical legacy, particularly post Motown. It don't just stop at Motown, y'all, or Eminem. Because if I hear about 8 Mile one more time, I literally am going to just crawl into a hole and pass.
I thought about the movie 8 Mile when I was at the New York Transit Museum, because the one Detroit entry in the New York Transit Museum was the Detroit diesel design bus, which was the one straight out of the 8 Mile movie.
That is so disappointing.
Let's talk about something that, of course, impacts Metro Detroit, but is statewide, and I know our audience is going to be very much into it. Groundwork has released the early results from their North and South Passenger Rail Project Survey, drawing nearly 22,000 responses in just over a month. And here's what they say. More than 65% of respondents say that they would ride for occasional trips, and another 25% say that they would use the train for both travel and commuting if available. Of course, Metro Detroit was well represented, but the survey logged at least one submission form from every county in Michigan. Respondents, and this thing would be rail service, from Detroit all the way up to Traverse City.
Yeah.
A statewide network. Respondents said that the biggest draw is the chance to relax on the ride, with interest strongest for summer and fall travel.
Do it. Make it happen. Listen, there's no more we need to do. We don't need any more studies, y'all. We don't. I don't want no more surveys, no more studies. Whoever ends up the next governor of Michigan in the next, administration, the next cabinet, whatever, do the thing. Just do it. The people want it, okay? You will be able to go get the money for it. You'll be able to start giving people some jobs. We forget expanding infrastructure is a great way to provide jobs to a whole host of people, right? You want to get some job growth in Michigan? Expand the rail system, right? Make it so we could go up to Mackinac on the rail, up to Traverse City on rail, out to Ann Arbor and the airport from Detroit, all on rail. I don't want to have to drive to Lansing.
I've been thinking about this. Well, we've had a number of listeners say that they don't want to drive to Lansing. They would be fine with even dropping off their car and then hopping the rail to Lansing. But I think about the upcoming Mackinac Policy Conference trip and driving up there. It would be so much more efficient, so much better. If I could, like I used to be able to do, well, not I, because the rails were pulled up by then, but you used to be able to take a train straight from Detroit and literally go to the dock to Mackinac Island, hop off the train, and then get on the boat and go over. But I would love, because then having your car sit there for 3 days in a parking lot, spending a bunch of money to have the parking, the car sit there, you're wasting all that stuff. It would be just so much better. Think about all the work, even if it took an hour longer. Think about all the work that I could get done.
Think about Novi. Would not exist if it wasn't a train stop. Think about all the towns that could pop up and be revitalized because they have train stops. This is a slam dunk. Why are we even still having surveys and conversations about this? I'm telling y'all right now, everybody in Lansing, make it happen yesterday. You want young people to move to this state and stay in this state? Give them some rail. Shut up with everything else.
Couple of notes from the east side. Detroit is putting $1 million into a new seawall repair program in Jefferson Chalmers, aiming to blunt the neighborhood's repeated flooding. City officials say at least 15 to 20 seawalls could be fixed or replaced in the program, focusing first on low-income homeowners along the canals of Lenox Street. Applications, according to Planet Detroit, are open through March 23rd, with assessments starting this summer and work expected to run into 2027. Man, as somebody of the east side, I think there is so much potential and so much cool stuff happening on the canals, but also the flooding and the fact that it's been a FEMA flood zone is holding that neighborhood back. You see the situation happening. I actually rolled by the Vanity Ballroom because some of the people have asked about how things are over there. Man, that place is getting near the end, I think. And then seeing the so much cool stuff that can happen in Jefferson Chalmers, we got to figure out a way to do something with this flooding situation.
Yeah, getting people some assistance to help keep their homes in order is always a good thing, in my opinion, but it's always going to be really, really, really tough to do as long as the FEMA flood zone designation is there. It means people are going to have their insurance rates be significantly higher. It means they're not going to have access to as many funds as other neighborhoods. So really getting that designation removed would be great, but as of right now, it seems like just the city helping itself is the only avenue right now.
The St. Jean boat dock might have a new future.
Is it Saint Jean or Saint Jean?
I know it is St. Jean.
All right, that's fine. Let's go with
That's
that.
what because it's over by when my grandmother was really, with the boat people,
Oh, okay.
and the goat yard was over there.
Ah, yes.
Yes, with the boats and
So
everything.
Saint Jean.
Yes, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is proposing that the Michigan Department of Natural Resources lease and operate Detroit's St. Jean boat launch as part of her natural resource budget for this year, with more than $270,000 in funding tagged as, quote, Detroit River Boating Access Expansion for the acquisition and management of the site at the Gray Haven State Harbor. The launch is currently a city-owned facility and the only publicly held boat launch within about 5 miles of downtown, and state officials frame the move as a way to improve and expand public access to the Detroit River and Lake St. Clair. Detroit officials say the state offer to run the launch was unsolicited, so the deal is not done yet and would still need city approval and budget adoption in Lansing before the DNR could formally take over the operations.
How do you? Because I'm not a boat person. I don't have a boat. My dad has a boat, but I haven't been on it yet.
What?
It's a small boat.
Come on. Can't we hang out on Norris's dad's boat?
It's in Idlewild.
Okay.
But
We can't take the train to Idlewild.
we cannot take the train to Idlewild. But is this a big deal for the boat people? Jared?
So here's the thing. I think in a place like ours, it has so much water right there. I think it's so important to have public access for people to get to it. And a few of the people that I know think that it would be a good idea for this to happen, for improvements and having a little bit more focus on this. There are limited places within the city, and frankly, limited places in general where you can drop your boat in as a public launch. And there are people that I know personally that have chosen the east side to be able to have their little boat and be able to drop it in the water. Because listen, harbor fees, all that can get real expensive. And if you're just somebody who is a casual fisher person, you just want to throw it, go catch some bass or something.
Do we have bass?
We got all kinds of stuff.
I don't know. I don't eat fish and I don't have a boat. I don't know. The whole maritime culture of Southeast Michigan is just beyond me.
We got to take you to the Dawson Great Lakes Museum.
There you go. I'd be down.
But I'd be interested to see what other people think. You can always give us some feedback. DailyDetroit@gmail.com or 313-789-3211. This story happened last week. We didn't cover it, and I feel really bad that we didn't. And I'm doing it for my own edification, Norris Howard.
All right.
Dutch Girl Donuts is expanding beyond its iconic Woodward shop with a new spot coming to the north end on Grand Boulevard in the historic Harani Studios building. Think between Woodward and 75. Owner Patty Lynch plans to open the second storefront this spring, with the space also hosting private events and community gatherings. Do you mean we could not only have Dutch Girls at our gathering, we could have the gathering at Dutch Girl?
Let me tell you this. This is a huge win. This is massive. This is absolutely massive. And it's in the neighborhood where they're going to get a lot of foot traffic. They're going to get people seeing it all the time. And listen, we got
People are going to drop right off of the freeway and go there
Yep.
much easier than the spot on 7
Yeah,
Mile.
it's going to be basically like catty-cornered from Volta Midnight over there on the boulevard. So kind of right there in that area where you first make that right coming off of 75, the 75 Service Drive. And listen, at the end of the day, right, the Woodward location is cool, but it's old and it's not a lot happening over there, right? You got it right next to Palmer Park, but in terms of activity,
Right there.
right there. So having it on the boulevard, having it be, right next to a lot of things that are happening, new lofts going in over in that area, apartments, new investment. It's an interesting area right there on East Grand Boulevard.
That studios building was quite the spot for a lot of parties and things with the creative
Absolutely.
community over the years. And I'm glad to see a new steward. There had been some structural issues with the building until it got sold. And to see this happen, it's a really cool storefront building. Not many of them are left in that excellent condition where they haven't been as destroyed as some of them.
Yeah. The fact that they kept it together is pretty great.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, there are upgrades that are planned for Detroit City Airport. Detroit City Council approved buying 28 parcels from speculator Michael Kelly for about $444,000 to support planned expansions at Coleman A. Young Municipal Airport. including expanding a runway, adding a new air traffic control tower, and flight school. The purchase is tied to an FAA safety mandate, and the city expects 95% of the money to be reimbursed by the federal government, leaving Detroit paying under $25,000.
Sounds like slam dunk to me.
It's controversial because it's somebody who has held a lot of land, making a bunch of money off of it. But in reality, $444,000 in this world is like a medium house.
Yeah.
It's not that like
There are homes that some of our listeners live in currently right now more expensive than that.
yeah. And for what we're going to see happen, look, is the deal perfect? No, but I think in general this is going to be huge for the East Side. And I think about that area by City Airport that that road back there that kind of basically acts as like a drag strip
Yeah.
behind the airport,
Behind the
not
airport.
Connor, but the other side. Getting that runway expanded, doing some different things is going to be huge.
And also, why not just have official drag races at the airport? I mean, hey, it'd be a great way to activate the space. Maybe get some money.
We should have a drag strip in the city.
Yeah, why not?
We've got the room. We could put it somewhere it won't bother anybody.
That's what I mean. But listen, all jokes aside, having a new traffic control tower, having a flight school there officially is a good idea. We don't want all that land to just sit there derelict. It's a great way for us to train the pilots of tomorrow and to do it in the city of Detroit. So why not? It sounds like to me a slam dunk decision. And like we said, if the Fed pays us back $25,000 for the city, hey, why not, man? Why not? That's what I do want. I want my taxes going to stuff like that.
Listen, we've spent less on mayor's cars.
Oh, you said it, not me.
Not this one and not the last one.
No,
but the one before.
But before then, yeah.
Before then, that happened.
Yeah, that was a thing.
All right. There is a growing conversation that I wanted to talk to you about, Norris Howard.
Okay.
In the wake of news over the weekend that a popular owner of a restaurant, the owner of Sloppy Chops, Mike Brown,
Yep.
was unfortunately gunned down at Suite 100 on the west side. And we don't normally do the crime and punishment beat, but a new conversation has kind of been spurred out of this. And that conversation is, should we consider more ordinances or other work about after hours places? Because this tragedy happened at, I believe, 4:30 in the morning.
Around there, yeah.
And there are now community activists. I know that Click on Detroit talked about it. A few other places have been talking about the idea that do we need a new set of ordinances for after hours? And what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I'm conflicted, right? Because obviously, I don't want anybody to be harmed just going out trying to have a good time, regardless of what hour of the day it is. And this is a tragedy because, I didn't know Mike B personally, but he had a great reputation throughout the city, and people love seeing folks who invest, who open businesses, open restaurants, and try to add to the tapestry, particularly of the nightlife in Detroit. So to lose him in such a tragic manner it is really awful. So on the one hand, yes, I understand that we want more safety. We want more things in place to stop these things from happening. On the other hand, I'm not sure our ordinance stops anything like this. I think you already have laws in place that are supposed to, curb after hours. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not sure if we have the personnel to be able to enforce it. I mean, I just looked it up before we went on air. We only got about 50 special forces cops in the city. I mean, it's pretty small. And you wouldn't necessarily be doing this with beat cops. It would have to be like a special task force, a gang squad or something like that to specifically be dedicated to maintaining ordinances of after hours spots. I'm not sure beat cops will be doing that. I'm not an expert on policing, so don't take my word with a grain of salt. But it just feels like that comes off as laws for law's sake. I'm not sure what rule you could put in place that more than what we already have that would stop something like this from happening. I'm not saying let's not do it. I'm saying I'm not sure what could have been done to just, unfortunately somebody just having it out for someone.
Yeah, I think that, you can add more tools to the toolbox, right? And maybe an ordinance does that. But at the end of the day, don't we really have to think about more things around community violence intervention, which there's been a lot of progress made
Significantly.
in the city because of that. Maybe we need to focus resources on that sort of world, you know, because at the end of the day, if somebody really wants to party at 4:30 in the morning,
They'll do it.
they're gonna do it. I mean, I was in my 20s once.
Yeah.
I have partied that late before. I was not at an establishment.
No, and most people aren't. Listen, if you want to be out at 4:30 in the morning anywhere in America, you can find a way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so we all know about shadow economies and you know the after hours market and all that, but I'm just not sure that another rule on the book to create more work for a police force that's already overworked.
And it's also
help.
tough because so much of the hospitality business stays open late. So that's the time you're getting off shift. I used to work a shift where I got off at 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Where
so
you
it was
gonna
full,
go?
It was full. You know, there was a great piece that Mickey Lyons did. We talked about on the show a couple years ago about third shift bars.
Yep.
And how those aren't as much of a thing anymore.
Dude, you remember the works?
Oh, yeah.
Right, you remember the works. 9 times out of 10, the people who were at the works were the people who worked at every other bar
Yeah.
and just wanted a place where they could unwind.
Or I worked in TV. And so,
So you didn't get off till 12. You do the 11 o'clock news.
Yep.
You get off at 12, 12:30, maybe even later. If
if I was
something
doing
broke.
Sports Final Edition.
Yep. Because, again, the Red Wings were on the freaking West Coast, and it was a triple overtime game, so the game didn't end till 3 a.m. So what do you do? Well, now there's, you know, the after-hours spot. So I'm not sure an ordinance or a new law does anything to change that, as opposed to, as you said, Jer, violence prevention, community action groups coming together to try to curb violence. And to be perfectly honest, I'll just say this to my community also, quit hating, you know, unless something, I'm not saying anybody ever deserves to have violence foisted upon them, but also there was a lot of people that depended on Mike B, and now a lot of that is in jeopardy. And when you do things like this, you don't just harm the person in their immediate family, you harm all those people that are dependent on him, that, you know, we're working at his establishments. That's all in flux now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a tragedy on multiple levels.
Well, let's end the show here on a little bit of more development news. It's just a development-heavy show today. Michigan Central says it will open the Michigan Central Mez this April, adding a new work and collaboration hub inside the historic Michigan Central Station. The 17,000 square foot mezzanine space is designed for members to plug into the district's network of 2,000 plus professionals across 240 plus companies with desks, conference rooms, quiet zones, wellness rooms, and enterprise-grade tech. Leaders say the Mez is meant to lower the barrier to joining the innovation ecosystem, connecting startups, major employers, universities, investors, and community groups to help move ideas from concept to real-world deployment. Another thing I want to mention with this is the involvement of Black Tech Saturdays.
That's right.
Very cool stuff with their new cohort that's starting up. So you can go check out their information on that too. They're always doing interesting things. But people always, I figured we'd end with the Michigan Central story because everybody's always interested in Michigan Central and what's happening there.
And I love that the space is being activated for more and more things now, right? That was going to be my big concern, especially when it finally opened back up. Is you had a lot of spots in there, and I kind of just wondered, is there going to be enough traffic in here to sustain all the ideas right now? Obviously, the hotel's not open.
Yep.
There was supposed to be a couple restaurants that are supposed to be coming online in the next year or so. Those aren't open yet. But finally having this in place and having what is going to be a consistent, hopefully a consistent everyday traffic kind of thing will help. And I'm excited to see that. I actually was just at Michigan Central last week for a friend of mine, Sebastian Jackson. Shout out to Sebastian and the Social Club. He did a conversation with JB Bickerstaff, the head coach of the Pistons. It was a great conversation where they had it right there in that big atrium, and Coach talked about his dad and what it was like growing up and team culture and how do you take programs from fledgling to winning programs, and it was great. And the Michigan Central atrium there was the perfect venue for it.
You know, I think we're just getting started with some of the stuff that's going to be happening in Michigan Central. And people forget how much energy is already happening at the Book Depository building or New Lab
Oh yeah.
right across the street. There is just so much stuff that's still coming online. And when that hotel hits and those restaurants hit, that foot traffic level will just be up top notch.
Oh, absolutely, man. And listen, Courtown is probably, I would say, almost once the stadium gets finished, man, you're gonna be talking about probably our first neighborhood in Detroit that I would consider like we are at critical mass. The only way we can fit more people in here is vertically.
Well, especially with the development, they're doing residential development with that stadium. Did you see that the demolition, they got the old hospital down?
Yep, it's all gone now.
It's wild.
It has been there my whole life. It is so weird, like driving home on 96 and just used to seeing the old derelict hospital there. It's just not there anymore, and there's gonna be a stadium there. I'm really excited.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, that is it for today's episode of Your Daily Detroit. Thank you so much for listening. A reminder: we've got trivia coming 3/13 Friday, March 13th at Tokororo.
Easter Market.
Easter Market. It's going to be a ton of fun. Starts at 6 p.m. We've got tickets on Eventbrite. Get them. Even though they are free, we would like you to RSVP for space concerns because it's already filling up.
Yep.
We are more than halfway full already. So get in there if you're coming. It'll be a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a blast over there. I also want to thank our members on Patreon, patreon.com/Daily Detroit. Local media requires local support to survive. You can get your sticker pack. We've got some extra bonuses going on. We've got our rocks glasses going out the door. We've got another shipment going out on Thursday. Very exciting stuff. It's so important. You know, I was reading a story, and we won't get into it super heavily, but they were talking about the need for local communities to support local stuff.
There you
and
go.
we're really, really lucky that you all step up in the way you do, and we really appreciate it. And it's so important to keep this digital community, whether you're in the city, in the suburbs, or just love the city from afar, together.
I agree. You know, and you guys are some of the best, and you've always supported us through all the things that we've been doing even before I was a part of the team. And I love seeing you all in the streets who really give us the praise and the accolades for doing the show. But beyond that, we really love just being a source of information for y'all. And so hopefully we can keep doing it. But the only way we can keep doing it is if you guys join the Patreon and continue to support. So make sure you do that. Jared, where can they find it?
Patreon.com/Daily Detroit, or you can go to Daily Detroit and see the Support Us tab.
There you go.
Go ahead and hit that. It'd be great for you to do so. All right. With that, we are done for today. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. I'm Jer Stays.
And I'm Norris Howard.
Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit.
Yeah. Chat was chatting.
Chat was chatting. Jaybird, what's up, fellas? What's up, Jaybird?
What's going on, my boy?
All right, we got to go. People are busy.
Yeah. Of course, word to Stina, who's always keeping the conversation going. Thank you, Stina.
You know, good point. It was controversial to close Woodward for, you know what? It still is controversial to people. I put up an Instagram reel. People are still commenting that we should reopen Spirit Plaza. It's still controversial, Stina. Even though I think it's going to be, it's already been, I don't think
That ship has sailed. And also,
the traffic's actually easier now.
The traffic's easier. Like, I'm not sure if y'all remember how much that like left-hand turn used to suck.
Oh, especially with all those people coming off the
Yes.
freeway and how it would back up.
Yes. Dude, you would get stuck underneath Kobo, whatever the hell it's called. You would get stuck underneath in that tunnel for you know, what felt like forever, dude. Oh my God. And then don't let it be like a festival at Hart Plaza or something, like during the Jazz Fest. Oh.
As an East Sider, it's so much easier to shoot down Woodward than shoot down, what is it, Learned?
Lerner, yeah.
Learned. Oh, we didn't mention it. You know what's opening up this week? Checker Bar.
Checker Bar's back. That's right.
We got to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm right around the way, so you know I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yes.
Get a brewer. Did they give a date?
I think it's the 4th.
The 4th? Oh yeah, we definitely gotta check it out.
Let me look that up right now.
I'm definitely gonna slide down. But yeah, I listen. I like the fact that one of our arguably the most known sculpture in Michigan is
11 a.m. tomorrow.
11 a.m. tomorrow. Oh, I'm going. I'm going that 8 tomorrow evening. And I'll take some photos and show you guys that is popping. But yeah, man, like I like the fact that that's a walkable plaza now, and it's gonna have stuff for kids to do and a nice low performance plaza right there. Like again, y'all, public spaces, third spaces. All right, people being able to do stuff around other people. I want to reduce the space for cars. I know y'all don't want me to do that. I want less car stuff. I want no more car stuff in this town. I only want foot stuff and, well, not foot stuff, but pedestrian stuff. Pedestrian stuff.
That's not a Patreon,
Yeah,
Norris.
Yeah. Only pedestrian stuff and public transit stuff. That's all I want.
D. Gifford revamped a piece for Visit Detroit for restaurants you can walk to within 10, 15, 20, and 30 minutes from Little Caesars Arena. He counted over 150 places.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's popping. And then once that cap goes on 75, there's going to be some pop-ups that are going to be going there as well. It's going to be even more stuff.
You know
to
what's
do.
pretty good pizza, kind of underrated, is Elephant & Co.
Yeah, I would agree.
We had a good drink
Now,
over there.
I will say,
with the wristbands and the beer.
because Corktown Tap Room has the same sort of setup with the wristbands.
That's true.
And the beer taps. And so I gotta go on the same day, right? And try them both, and then I gotta compare and contrast. What is the best digital tap room, I guess, of Detroit?
Detroit needs a venue that has live performances of the Motown musical every weekend.
No.
Aren't they like in town like every other quarter?
Yes. The answer is no.
D. Gifford, I would 100% take the train to see the fall colors.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be great.
Wouldn't it be great if
That's
they had the observation, on that Silver Line out west?
Yeah. Where you had the observation car.
Yeah, with
where
the
it's like
roof.
all glass.
The roof is glass. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be really cool. Listen, I want to go back to this Motown musical thing. All right, listen. If they want to do, here's what you do. If they want to do that at the Motown Museum, they're expanding. Do it at the Motown Museum.
I bet you they're gonna do something like that. They've got so much more space
Yeah,
coming.
that's what makes sense. They don't need to be in the Fisher once a month or whatever the hell.
I'm glad that Stina's excited about seawalls. I appreciate the nerdery. She makes a good point that if you have your own canoe or kayak, it is much easier from a public launch. That is a very good point.
See, I don't be in no canoes and kayaks. I don't be in
Listen,
no canoes
you have
and
not
kayaks.
lived until you have gone down the canals of Detroit in a canoe with a rack of PBR.
First of all, no. See, this
Would
is,
you like walk along the shoreline with
this
your
is-
can?
Listen, I actually love water. I know how to swim. I'm not afraid of water. That's not my point. I respect water. Okay, and there is not enough protection between me and a devastating, terrible aqualine end with a kayak. Not my jam. I've been in a canoe before. I've been in a kayak before. I don't want to do it again.
I used to kayak with my mom on Belle Isle when I was a kid.
That sounds so much fun,
It was.
right? But I leave it to
Belle
you.
Isle is very shallow in there.
See,
You could
yeah,
just
but
stand.
the aisle, that's different. That's different. You talking about the canals. The canals go to the river. The river's very deep.
So would you do it on the canals on the island?
Maybe. But also it's very poopy water.
Not anymore. Not with the new changes.
I'll give it a summer.
Okay.
I'll let the changes come through and do their thing. But until then, no.
There's the M1 Concourse, D. Gifford says, in Pontiac, I think referring to racing. Need something similar in Detroit for Detroiters so they don't have to do it on Gratiot. As somebody who lives near Gratiot, let me tell you, that road is turning into a situation where you can't do it on Gratiot.
No.
That road over by where I live, somehow
bad.
the pavement's coming apart in squares.
Well,
it
'cause
is
they-
so
'cause
bad this year.
They replace it in squares. That's the
But
problem.
like little squares, like squares that are like 2 by 2.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's how we was doing it for years. Is that when we have a pothole, you cut a little square out and you drop another square in. We're not doing it that way no more, right? So if you look at how 75 is built, they built in that German style. I remember you did the report on it, where there's like sand substrate, then asphalt, then like another layer of some kind of synthetic material, then asphalt again, and it keeps potholes from forming, and it also
It distributes the weight load better.
it distributes the weight
There's a ton
load
of
better.
factories down Gratiot with the Better Made, the Fago.
Well, that's why grass is so toe up. Is too many heavy loads on Gratiot.
But I am driving across it sometimes. I don't drive on Gratiot whenever. I actually avoid driving on Gratiot when I can.
You know why I also try to avoid driving on Gratiot, because it just runs way too fast.
It needs a median. It needs
and
a
it
median.
should have a boulevard, a median. But when you're driving towards downtown, the view is so nice.
It is.
It is one of the best ways to see downtown from a motor vehicle.
That view is really great on like a warm Sunday morning.
Oh man,
When
or
it's
like
quiet out.
see, I like it in the middle of summertime. I'm talking about 7:30 p.m. Middle of summertime, Friday night. Music, everybody got their music blasting. You can smell the barbecue coming from the neighborhoods, and you got that nice sort of warm haze over the skyline, man. Oh,
I hear Will Smith's Summertime in my head.
See, I don't hear
Or Cool in the Gang.
Cool in the Gang.
Cool in
That's
the
what I hear,
Gang.
because the east side, you got the old cat daddies out now. The Cadillacs is out.
That's true. That's true. David noticed my mayor's cars. Shots fired. I'm glad somebody else noticed it. It's a bit of an older reference now.
You know,
To the Escalade.
I had somebody ask me about Kwame at the bar the other day, and I thought it was so funny, because I had to realize that there are people who have moved to this town who have no context for Kwame.
Nope. Now that he's just got a church now.
Yeah, it's so weird just running into people who have no context for Kwame Kilpatrick.
That could be like a
It's
whole
like
game, like
moving-
no context, Kwame.
It's like moving to DC and have no context for Marion Barry, or like moving to New York and having no context for Rudy Giuliani.
Stina says violence reduction is so much about education and conflict resolution systems. Yep. Mia and the D, good to see you. Good to see you. There's mention of a new DPD drone program. Residents also push back on some of the things that can be done in the sake of privacy.
Yeah, the drone program is really this is something that I think nationwide we're really gonna have to reckon with.
Dearborn
because
has a big drone
they
program
have a
that they rolled
big-
out too.
Yeah, they have a big drone program, but it is gonna be something nationwide that I think people are gonna be looking much more closely on, because in order to effectively do a lot of the drone programs, now you have to start doing facial recognition. Now we got to start talking about databases on people. I mean, you know, it gets real kind of dystopian real fast.
Remember when we talked about all the license plate recognition cameras? Well, there has been a ton of issues with a number of the brands, including Flock, where cities like Ferndale and others around the nation have actually stepped back from using them because there was law enforcement abuse.
Yeah.
Like officers looking for their girlfriend's cars.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a lot of that, and also now there's an expansion of it because of the increased budget for ICE and Border Patrol in the entire state of Michigan does fall into the 100-mile Border Patrol radius. So there's a lot of those cameras just around in general, period, that we just don't know.
D.E. Gifford says the Michigan Association of Railroad Passengers is hosting a tour of Michigan Central on March 21st.
Bring the trains.
David Porter, finally it's gone. I think he's referring to Southwest Hospital.
Yes.
I think so.
So now we just got to put the thing vertical. Build
Remember
the thing.
when Dan Gilbert would always talk about going vertical?
Put the thing vertical.
You know what? Vertical is going away.
Yeah, the wine
bar.
place. What was the last day?
It's not done yet, but it's coming.
I gotta go before, I hate to say it. It's always that good, like, last hurrah.
For sure. Cena says when the new Huntington Place Hotel gets in, those guests will bring foot traffic to Wilson Park and then use Greenway. That is true.
Yeah.
It's going to be very
yeah.
pretty over there for them. Would be nice to see the loop around Campus Marsh closed to traffic on the weekends. Going to be busier once Cosm opens too.
I think they will, yeah.
Playing Frogger around camp. So the thing is about Campus Martius is if you're going to close Campus Martius, you kind of got to close a few blocks out.
No,
'Cause
he's
there's
saying,
no
like-
good. There's no good like streets to get in there. Like you almost have to like close it off.
I think you close off, what's that, Washington Square Park. Or not Washington Square. Is that Washington Square? I always forget.
Cadillac Square.
Cadillac Square. You close Cadillac Square right there. Just that little bitty part. You
Well,
close that.
that
you'll
used to be
okay.
a farmer's market.
Yeah, I know.
Cadillac Square. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jay Bird hit me with a pause, bro. I deserve it. Because it was about the feet comment.
Clip that apparently.
Yeah, Jay Bird, you got me.
Producer, we're going to have to clip that.
You got me.
Before it closed, getting the fist was a game of Frogger. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
A hard no to a canoe and a beer. That is crazy. Canoe and beer. That is crazy. Listen, you just got to balance it.
Let me say something. Okay.
Listen, I'm a big man. I weeble and I wobble, but I don't fall down.
Let me say this, and I'm going to say this very clearly. Those of us in the Afro-American delegation, we don't play around when it comes to water like that. Okay? It's not fear. Y'all keep thinking it's fear. It's not fear. It's respect. Okay? It's the same reason why we don't be climbing Everest and shit. Right? It's not fear. It's respect for the mountain. The mountain was there before us. Why is y'all over there messing with the mountain? It's there. It's going to be there. All right? And that's how we feel. But
Is that why I don't see too many people in your delegation doing like parachute jumping?
that's right, because we respect gravity, right? Like, it's a thing, you know. And I know gravity is a relatively weak force, but we respect it. And let me just say this, okay? That's why we all need each other. That's why DEI and inclusivity is great. Because, listen, with our white folks, we wouldn't have discovered penicillin because we wouldn't have been up in them mountains eating mushrooms and fungi and stuff, all right? And being like, dang, this cleared everything right up. Like, we wouldn't have known, okay? It's important that we have everyone.
David Porter, they used to paddle boats on Belle Isle. Yes, paddle boats, actually, not just last year. I remember paddle boats when I was younger. And also the kinds that you do the little...
Or they got the tiki paddle boats now.
Oh, they got those too. Those come out of... Yeah.
Yeah. Now, a friend of mine who has a condo that faces the river down on the Gold Coast, just past the bridge, we used to see the people on the tiki boats all the time. And me and him would just look. We used to be like, bro, absolutely not.
Those boats are not like... The thing is, they're more like platforms, right? They
Yes.
kind of wild me out.
Yes.
I'm okay with the boat. That seems like if there's too much... I'm sure there's an expert on this, right? But like, I look at those boats, and I'm somebody who likes boats, and I look at that.
Yeah,
and I
that ain't
go,
a boat. That ain't a boat. That is a
It feels like the Detroit River has very strong currents for something without that.
that's a dinghy with alcohol on it, and that don't sound like a good idea. Flat out.
Stina says sun setting behind downtown when you drive down Gratiot is beautiful.
It is,
I also like the morning look because then it reflects off the buildings.
but then you can't see.
That's true.
Then
That's true.
then you go blind. Remember, we had a whole segment on this with the people were upset because the Hudson's building was too bright.
Millions of views
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yes,
Because a listener caught the eye of
It's the eye of
Sauron.
Sauron.
Millions of views on the gram for that.
Yes, the great eye is ever watchful.
Gratiot was repaved in concrete from Shane northward to McClellan in 2006, right before the Super Bowl.
That's right, Mr. 1213. You're correct. I remember that.
Man, I appreciate this.
I remember that. We stopped doing that. We stopped doing that.
And I'm paying for it every time literally, like every time I'm coming to the
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
I'm
Everything's
crossing
asphalt
Gratiot.
now.
It's just like,
You know what, though? You think about 2026. That's 20 years ago.
26, 2000.
Yeah, 2002.
It's 2026
It's
now.
2026 now, but I'm saying like 2006, 20 years ago, right? When I was little, it was hard to conceptualize that, like, you know, 1996, like, okay, 20 years from 1996 was 1976, right? Like, it feels like from 96 to 76 was such a long time ago, but it feels like from 06 to now, it doesn't feel like that long. Doesn't it?
That's the magic of time. I have friends. We have listeners, close friends that were born in 76, sir.
I know. I'm just saying, it doesn't feel that long. Is that just, am I just old now? Is that what it
Yes.
does?
Well, you are slowly moving from proto-unk.
I mean, to just unk.
I don't know what the line is, but there is a time.
Well, I got to be post 40, which I'm not yet.
Correct.
And I haven't started drinking cognac with any sort of regularity. But once that happens, I'm going to need you to pull me to the side.
Do your shoes qualify? Has your shoe attire changed?
Not,
'Cause, like, there's
I'm not wearing like Stacey Adams, if that's what
There's
you
a
asked.
semi-famous Detroiter, and I won't say the last name, but his first name is Carl. And if you're a Detroiter and you know Carl, you know which Carl I'm talking about. And Carl has the best shoes in the Motor City.
It's always some kind of lizard.
It's always you can't leave your alligators near Carl.
Only no
He will
alligators,
wrestle them to the ground.
No
and put them
boas.
on his feet.
no boas, no iguanas, no
I won't
nothing.
out him by name, but he's like You know if you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
no reptiles.
And
if
I
it's a
said,
reptile,
I used to work with him, and man, this guy, he is always on point. And I think part of the Unk set
is if you
is the shoes.
if you start seeing me wear some kind of reptile, then yeah, pull
maybe
me to
your
the side.
shoes, like more than 50% of your wardrobe moves.
I feel it,
moves
though.
to like City Slicker. But
Dude, I felt the pull. I know I'm getting there because I felt the pull. I walked past City Slickers the other day and I saw a pair and I was like, and I felt it. And somehow, like inside, like.
so like nigh on 20 years ago, I needed shoes and I walked into City Slicker. It was so funny. I ended up buying the shoes, but it was so funny because I walked in the door and everyone just started laughing.
Because they knew what was up. They
It
knew what
was
up.
great.
But it was like you ever seen like American Werewolf in Paris? Or like Teen Wolf or something like that, where it's just like they feel it inside and they got to do everything they can to calm down so they don't transform. That's how I felt when I walked past City Slickers. I was like, I do everything in my power to not walk in here. Because if I go in here, I'm buying something. Okay? I'm leaving with something and it's going to be
Well, then there's that other clothier that's right across the street in the Campus Martial Wizard, Hot Sam's.
Hot Sam. Yeah. And it's gonna be cold-blooded. Flat out.
Okay. Do we need to, like, maybe outfits that are along the lines of Spice Adams?
Not quite, because that's in a way, big fellas could dress like that. I can't dress like that because I'm not a big fella, right?
No.
But definitely there's a few cats around town that I could swing that fit.
Do you remember?
If I start dressing like Fast Freddy, like
I always used to run into him on Jefferson or in the crosswalk by the Rensen or in Greektown. Do you remember? Did you ever meet Mr. Detroit? He had like the cane, the hat. The
oh
gators.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was built like you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Jaybird says the Gators are calling.
they do. I'm
It's the
telling
call
you,
of the
When
Gators.
you are, listen, it's only two ways you could go. When you are African American man above the age of 40, there are two types of shoes that call to you. Either it's gonna be some lizard, cold blooded, or you got to get the woven sandals. All right, some brothers get both. My dad,
You need both.
my
because
dad
of the
was
weather.
more, but my dad ended
I
up
can't
more
imagine
in
wearing lizards when it's 85 degrees.
Yeah. But that's exactly right. But sometimes you do it anyway, right? Because the fit is the fit. And again,
But if you're a big man, you prioritize comfort. There's a reason. I look good in seersucker.
but Jerry, you gotta think the heat affect you differently. All right, when it's hot out, if my fit is going off, I don't feel no heat. I'm too ice cold.
And see, when I feel the heat, I start sweating like a preacher.
That's why you get your
I
little
start-
handkerchief, dab yourself, and then you get on with the rest of your day.
And the Lord said, listen to this podcast.
That's right. Exactly, man.
Doctero knows. Doctero knows that man was timeless.
Yes, he was. So maybe I'm the new Mr. Detroit in the making. Who knows? I don't know. But the point is that if you from here, listen. See, Mr. Duckett. Hold on, you came in off the top rope with this one. He said, "I love my Gators and my mink." Brother, do you know that when Dietrich Furs was closing, I was this close to taking my behind down there to see if they had something left in my size? I was this close, but I had a prior engagement. If I ain't had nothing to do that day, I absolutely would have went down there and bought a fur. I would have did it.
That would have been amazing. We would have needed to listen. If you get something like that, you've got to come up on the live stream unannounced wearing it.
Oh yeah, that's the
Just
point.
like sit down.
Yeah,
And or if we win that award to go into the Our Detroit party,
I'm wearing it.
it's got to be, you got to do the floor sweep.
Absolutely. And then I got to come in and you got to play Here I Go by Mystical. When I walk into the boom, doom, doom. It's not an L, by the way, me and the D. It's not an L. They needed to create cap room for Montgomery. They needed to create cap room. And if you pick between Gibbs and J-Mo and St. Brown and all the rest of those guys that
We
are
need an
critical.
O-line.
Yeah.
The problem
you
is
got to
we
pay
need an
for an
O-line.
O-line.
We don't have the money for
O-line.
it. We got to listen. Without an O-line, the statue that is Jared Goff gets cracked in the head every
my
game.
God, that man
He
is.
needs protection.
I have never met a man whose feet seem glued to the turf.
It's so frustrating.
It's so bad sometimes.
I know there isn't a better available option,
No.
but it's so frustrating. And I'm not saying I didn't like Montgomery. The
No,
Sonic
he's
and
great.
Knuckles
Sonic
thing,
and Knuckles, man. We love it.
I like the double threat, but all last year he was underutilized. because we didn't have any. Listen, losing Ragnow, losing all of that center action really hurt us badly.
Listen, if your O-line is straight, it almost doesn't matter what kind of quarterback you have if you got a good O-line.
But you know what? A lot of people are sad about Montgomery. We got a lot of listeners I know that
He was a
have
fan
Montgomery
favorite. I get
jerseys.
it. He was a fan favorite. I get it. But you know what? This is sports, and you are trying to be a championship caliber team. You got to make some real tough decisions here. Real tough decisions. And that was a tough decision. I actually low-key applaud Brad and the rest of the front office there because they know that that's going to be unpopular. They know it's going to be unpopular, but you got to do it because you got to get some backup for the O-line. You cannot go into next season with the O-line playing the way it was.
Not at all. Stina, I saw a real story, something recently about Detroit African Americans and furs. It was very
I
interesting.
told you furs are a cultural guard.
That's true.
Furs are cultural guard for black people in Detroit, period. I don't care what nobody else has said.
Montgomery was a luxury we couldn't afford right now. I agree with that. Actually, that's a good take.
Proper assessment, I agree.
Because I like Montgomery. I am sad about losing him.
Me too. But if you say
I'm just glad he's not going to somebody we're playing all the time.
no, well, that was I'm pretty sure that was part of the deal. Where it's like, no, he cannot go in division. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, listen, if you told me, do we keep Montgomery or do we keep really a player that kind of is an extra? Like, I'm not trying to say that what he provided to the team wasn't great, but if you say that, or we bolster the O-line, or potentially bolster the linebacker core, or whatever, or really we quite as kept the secondary, right?
Yeah.
I would choose to bolster those areas as opposed to just keeping Montgomery, which sucks. But again, when you are trying to go for championships, when you're trying to win the Super Bowl, you got to make these real tough decisions, even though they may be fan favorites.
And Gibbs showed he could do it.
Well, Gibbs is the best running back in the league. I think is really, if he's not the best, he's top 3. He's untouchable. He's probably one of the 2 or 3 untouchable players on the team. Like you got him, you got Anzalone, and you got the boy from Canton. What's his name? The DN.
I know what you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, untouchable. Even to me, if somebody would pick up Jared Goff's contract and there was another decent option online, I would go for that because
Really?
Jared's cool, but like for the money he's on, like I just haven't seen a guy who's gonna win the Super Bowl for us.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see many great other options though. That's
the problem.
thing. Like I don't see anybody going, all right, even if we lighten up the load, I don't see anybody who's going to be better who's actually available.
That's the problem. Yeah, is that the quarterback core right now in the league is not ideal, in my opinion.
I think, what is it, 3 years on his contract?
Yep. Oh, he getting super paid, bro. And that's where Jared. There's no diss, man. What he's been doing in Detroit is incredible.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen Super Bowl winning quarterback style stuff from him.
But it's wild to see how that Matt Stafford left, got his ring.
He got an O-line.
Yeah. That's true.
He was protected it.
Protected it?
Yeah.
Protected it?
He was protected it.
Protected it.
And look, he lit it up. Almost won another Super Bowl this year.
I just had the mental image that just flashed in my head of our O-line wearing mink.
Hutchinson, that's who it is. Hutchinson.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Duckett.
Hutch is also untouchable.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we got everybody in the chat, I think. Want to make sure. Didn't miss anybody. I really appreciate everybody coming in. As always, if you've got story ideas or things you want us to talk about or prep for ahead of time, dailydetroit@gmail.com. I do look at all the emails. I try to get back to everybody I can. Things get real crazy around here sometimes. But definitely, if there's stories you want us to do prep on or talk about ahead of time, let me know. Of course, thank you to everyone who's a member on Patreon. You are absolutely awesome. We will be back here next Tuesday.
Yep.
I think we have something planned very special, not for next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. Because it's a day that has a clover.
Oh, yeah. Green Day, if you will.
A day that would be very special to Mr. O'Reilly.
That's right.
We don't have all the details together.
We figuring it out.
We're figuring it out, but it's going to be very fun.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for watching. We got a ton of stuff coming with the show. Thank you, Jaybird. Thank you, Mr. 1213. Really appreciate you all. Cannot wait to see you. Reminders, we got these in now. So, get in touch. They're very fun. All right. Till next time, I really appreciate you. Take care of each other. Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit.